Jerod Mayo just made this promise to the New England Patriots. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots on the daily, pushing out that content to people just like you who can't get enough Patriots football, even on what may say is a boring bye week. I would say it is. But anyways, that being said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment below. Today, what we're going to be talking about, Jerod Mayo, we know he has had some pretty wild comments this season. Some of it he's had to walk back. But the question is, will he walk back this as well? I'll tell you what, we're on a head coaching theme today. What we're going to be talking about at the end of the episode is the former head ball coach, Bill Belichick, and some big news on his end. So let's jump right into it. Jerod Mayo, we know this season, time in, time out, has said multiple things that he has had to walk back. At times, I would say he shouldn't even have to walk it back. One of his last comments he made was basically saying, hey, listen, last time we held a timeout and we didn't call a timeout, we ended up winning a Super Bowl, and that was a big deal. And apparently that was a little too offensive for some people. So he had to come back and walk that back and apologize. Again, be yourself. Say what's on your mind. I really don't care. You're not going to offend me, and you shouldn't have to worry about offending other people. So when it comes down to it, this comment that Jerod Mayo has made recently, I think is something we really need to hold him to, and hopefully he never walks this one back. But he basically says this: I still have a lot to learn as a head coach of this football team, and I've understood that. It's a very different role, and I tell players the same thing. The biggest jump that you'll ever have in your career is from year 1 to year 2. So as far as becoming a better player, as a better professional as well, I'm sure 100% that I'll be a better coach in year 2 than I am in year 1. I would also say that when you're out there on the field, for me at least, I'll always try to do what is best for the football team. He said that multiple times. I do appreciate that. We're always trying to win every game, 100%. Now, what this is telling me right here is Jerod Mayo, from year 1 to year 2, if you look at any head coach, it shouldn't be, let's be honest with ourselves. It's not about necessarily the culture's on its way up, the environment's better, players are getting better. Everyone wants to see that, yes. But what's the top dog? The top dog is we want to have a better record. We want to make the playoffs. We want to be relevant. That is the biggest thing. That is the barometer when it comes to coaching. Are you winning football games? Are you looking better as a team? And are you making a shot, giving your team a shot to win and make the playoffs? And so I think that is going to be Jerod Mayo's biggest thing. We've talked about it this past week more than once. I do not see Jerod Mayo getting fired. Some people, I would say right now, if you took a poll, if you got one of those very annoying phone calls that you got during this 2024 election year, and they ask you, press 1 if this, press 2 if that, whatever, very annoying. I usually hung up within 5 seconds. But anyways, I think it would probably be 60-40. I think 40% are about done. 60% are like, I'm not thrilled, but give the man a chance. That I feel like all the comments I've been reading, I would throw out that it's kind of an arbitrary numbers that I'm throwing out there, but I would say that's about what it looks like. And so when it comes down to it, if they finish out this season and they're 3-14, I would not say that he's gotten necessarily better as a coach if the next year it's the same record or about the same. Again, it should be something that's more, hey, we're on the precipice of making the playoffs or we're in the playoffs. I think that as a NFL head coach, that should be your goal every year. And from that, obviously, it's winning a Super Bowl, but that is the trajectory you need to be on. Again, this isn't only Jerod Mayo. It's also going to be Elliott Wolf, and this whole organization is we need to be trending towards the right direction. So again, comment below. Tell me what you think about this. Again, this is very much coach speech, but it is true. Like this, listen, let's be honest. This is my first time ever doing a YouTube platform like this, where I'm literally just sitting here talking about sports, about the New England Patriots. I've never done this before. I have no idea. And so when it comes down to it, am I going to look back and say, yeah, I was probably better than I was last year? Yeah, 100%. But again, that is going to look different for me than it is for a professional head coach in the National Football League. So comment below, tell me what you think. I just find it as an interesting quote. Let's jump into the next story. Next story, we talk about the old ball coach, Bill Belichick, BB. He's heading down to the college ranks so he can meet some girls. I'm sorry, that was bad. I should have said that. But he does have a young girlfriend. Anyways. Sorry. Anyways, if you laughed at that, comment below. If not, you're probably going to unsubscribe. But I thought that was funny. Anyways, he is leaning towards accepting the University of North Carolina job. Now, this job has been under the helm of Mack Brown the last handful of years since 2019. I just want to show you this record just because Mack Brown had a successful time for the most part at Texas, won a national championship, lost a national championship against Alabama and Nick Saban that year. That was when Colt McCoy went down. Arguably, a lot of people say if Colt McCoy didn't go down in that national championship game, they would have won that national championship game. But anyways, that's all relevant. Irrelevant to this. But anyways, you look at Mack Brown's time at North Carolina. Never surpassed 10 wins. Never got to those double digits. Never won a ACC championship. Came in first once in the Coastal Division, but besides that, really didn't do anything. Now, what it's not showing you here is in 2019, 2020, 2021, those 3 seasons, he had top 15 recruiting classes. If you know anything about college football, Aaron, why are you going on this? I'll explain in just a second. You just hang in there with me. And you're like, I thought this was New England Patriots. It is, but listen, bye week, there's not a lot of news, and I love college football too, so I'm going to talk about this. You're going to learn something today. So, in college football, typically the teams that made the 4-team playoff or before that made the BCS National Championship, those teams were typically within the top 5 recruiting classes consistently in a 4-year average. And so North Carolina, they were trending that direction. 2022, 2023, 2024, they were in the upper 20s, low 30s, and never really got past that mark again, like I said, where they were winning the ACC. And again, if you know anything about college football, the ACC has kind of dropped off. This year in the in the ACC championship is SMU, a first-time team, a team that came into the ACC and said for the first 5 years we don't want any TV money, just because we want to jump ship and we want to make our way back up the ranks in college football like they were before they got the death penalty back in the day, long time ago. You're learning a lot today. Anyways, North Carolina, in a weak ACC, Mack Brown has not been able to do anything. Now, the reason I say all that is because I believe Bill Belichick thinks he can go into UNC and he can say, hey, I bet you with my name, with the NIL money in college football right now, especially at UNC, a big name program, definitely for basketball. Football, they still get a lot of money. Believe it or not, the football team is going to make more than that basketball team. That you might not believe it. Go look it up. When it comes down to it, I think Bill Belichick thinks, hey, because of my name, I've won 6 Super Bowls. If I can go down here and win a national championship, why not? Why not go try? And especially in a conference right now where Clemson's fallen off, Florida State, Lord knows, has fallen off. Miami is not what they were in the early 2000s or late 90s. And there's a lot of teams that are just subpar. So I think he looks at it and says, hey, I can step in here, and I bet you I can get top 5 recruiting classes. I guarantee you could, and I guarantee you UNC will have the money to back it. And I think he could actually do a decent job there. I think he could make the playoffs. I don't know how many years he'd want to coach. I guarantee you if he's there for a year and he wins 10-plus games, he's going to get an NFL offer. But also, too, if he gets an NFL offer this year, he's not going to take this job. But it is very interesting for Bill Belichick to be interested in this job, just because you typically don't see an incredibly successful NFL coach, arguably the best NFL coach in NFL history, go down to the college ranks. You see it's the opposite trend. You see Jimmy Johnson did really well from Miami, ended up going to the Cowboys. You see Pete Carroll did really, really well in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s at USC, and then jumped to Seattle. You see Jim Harbaugh won a national championship with Michigan and went back to the NFL. And so when it comes down to it, you don't see this opposite move. So comment below. Tell me what you think. I know we've talked about this briefly before, but tell me what you think about Bill Belichick to UNC. Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it's just a bunch of hogwash? Comment below. Also, tell me if you laughed at my Bill Belichick joke. Anyways, we'll talk to you later. This is Sports Talk Patriots. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. We'll talk later. Peace.